An affable and warm welcome to Your Excellency, the Chief Guest, the Honorable Chief Justice Sri Dipankar Datta Sir, Honorable Justice Sri S.B. Gangapurwala Sir, Senior Judge of this bench, Honorable Justice S.S. Shinde Sir, the Guest of Honor, Honorable Justice Sadhna Zadav Ma'am, and Advocate General of Maharashtra, Sri Ashutosh Kumbhakoni Sir, who have specially come for this function from Bombay, all other equally remarkable sitting and former honorable judges and their respective family members, respected registrars, and other esteemed judicial and executive officers, respected President of our Bar Association, Advocate Surekha Mahajan Ma'am, Secretary, Advocate Shahaji Ghator Patil Sir, Vice President, Advocate Anuradha Mantri Ma'am, all the respected journalists of the print and electronic media, and my proficient senior and junior colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I am Advocate Pooja Dilip Patil Bankar, a member of the committee of this Bar Association. It is a great honor for me to be a part of this gathering in this cantified hall to celebrate the 40th anniversary of this happening of the Foundation Day of the High Court of Bombay bench at Aurangabad. Many countries around the world are already dealing with serious challenges like the war-torn Afghanistan, humanitarian crisis in Syria and Yemen, food insecurity in Democratic Republic of the Congo, a storm of weak governance, poverty, and chronic undevelopment in Mali and Chad, inter-ethnic conflicts in Ethiopia, and political transitions in other advanced countries. We are really proud that we are a part of a great country who is having good governance, highly dignified judiciary, and citizens armed with all human rights by maintaining an overall equilibrium. However, the coronavirus entered as a typical black swan event. In this situation also, our one and all honorable judges with their jurisdiction of the High Court of Bombay and its benches have shown their extreme desire and empathy towards the litigants, either by conducting the judicial assignments physically, virtually, or in a hybrid mode, even in the life-threatening pandemic, to uphold the sustainability of the prime principle of the Indian legal system, that is justice at all cost and always. On this establishment day, I take this opportunity to express gratitude towards our judiciary for having reformed the Indian legal system and landscape by facilitating the aid of technology in this situation. Therefore, I feel it is apt to say that when darkness comes, let us not condemn the dark, but light a lamp and illuminate. On this note, on behalf of the Bar Association, I cordially invite Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp. Please light the lamp, sirs. Now, I cordially invite Advocate Surekha Mahajan Ma'am, the President of the Bar Association, to felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice. I cordially invite Advocate Shahaji Ghator Patil Sir, the Secretary of the Bar Association, to felicitate Honorable Justice S.S. Shinde Sir. cordially invite Advocate Anuradha Mantri Ma'am to felicitate Honorable Justice S.B. Gangapurwala sir. Just a humble request. I would request all the respected members of the bar who would like to felicitate honorable judges to please be present with their bouquets because we have some time constraint. I now invite Advocate Ajay Talhar sir, ASG Union of India, to kindly felicitate Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. I invite Advocate D.R. Kale sir, in charge GP, to kindly felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. I invite Advocate V.D. Sarunke sir, member of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, to kindly felicitate Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. I invite Advocate Amol Sawant sir, member of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, to kindly felicitate Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. I cordially invite Advocate Dilip Patil Bankar, current Chief Standing Counsel of State Cooperative Election Authority, Maharashtra, and also a Special Counsel for Education Department, to felicitate Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. I invite the Vice President, Advocate Kamlakar Tandulje sir, Secretary, Advocate Sandeep Shirsat, Member, Advocate Sambhaji Tawar, District and Sessions Court Bar Association, Aurangabad, to kindly felicitate the Chief Justice and the dignitaries. I invite the President, Advocate Kiran Sarunke, Secretary, Advocate Anand Gadekar, and PO MAG, Advocate Milind Mahajan, MAG Bar Association, Aurangabad, to kindly felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. Now I invite President, Advocate B.R. Kavre, Bar Association of Industrial Lawyers, Aurangabad, to kindly felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. Now I invite President, Advocate Pramod Pawar, Secretary, Advocate Akshay Khot, and Treasurer, Advocate Shrikant Mishra of the Marathwada Charity Advocates Association, Aurangabad, to kindly felicitate Honorable Chief Justice and the dignitaries. I invite Advocate Ganesh Sukale, Advocate Virendra Kare, Cooperative Court Bar Association, Aurangabad, to kindly felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice, and the dignitaries. I invite Advocate Shahaji Ghator Patil Sir, the Secretary of the Bar Association, to kindly felicitate Advocate General Ashutosh Kumbhakoni Sir. Thank you so much, everyone. I would also like to welcome all the honorable judges and their respective family members. And in case, inadvertently, if some of the dignitaries have remained, I felicitate them and offer them flowers through my lexical form. Moving on. The High Court of Bombay bench at Aurangabad was established in 1982. The magnificent centrally located edifice was constructed at a cost of 3.5 crores, having 6,202.18 square meters built-up area, which was opened in the month of June 1995. The ADR, Alternate Dispute Resolution Building, was inaugurated on 2nd of October 2020. From 7th of July 2018, the annex building of this bench is also being constructed in the campus. It has more than 12 sitting judges and a bar of 3,378 advocates. On this milestone, we have with us our twice elected president of our Bar Association, Advocate Surekha Mahajan ma'am, and she would also complete her hat trick of her terms because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and of course, we all committee members are also a part of this hat trick. I request Advocate Surekha Mahajan ma'am to address the bar.
The chief guest of today's function, Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datta, the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. Honorable Justice Shri S.S. Shinde, the Senior Most Judge, Bombay High Court. Honorable Justice Shri S.V. Gangapurwala, the Senior Most Administrative Judge of Bombay High Court, bench at Aurangabad. The companion judges of this Honorable High Court, the former judges of this Honorable High Court, Honorable Advocate General Maharashtra Ashutosh Kumbhakoni Sir, Learned Assistant Solicitor General of India Advocate Talhar, Learned Government Pleader Advocate D.R. Kale, Learned Bar Council members Advocate V.D. Sarunke and Advocate Amol Sawant, Registrar General High Court Bombay Shri Chandwani Sir, Registrar Administration Shri Yavalkar Sir, Registrar Judicial Shri Bhosle Sir, President and Secretaries of respective bar associations, dignitaries, my colleagues and friends, very, very good evening and warm welcome to you all. Today, we are celebrating the 40th Establishment Day of High Court Bombay Bench at Aurangabad. It's a pleasant moment to travel through the permeable memories and is always welcome. The story of struggle in getting this bench at Aurangabad came to an end in the year 1981. The then pioneers steered the institution to great success and shaped and molded the new generation of lawyers of that time by growing self-discipline, hard work, and also channelized them. They were knowing the hallmark of legal profession means organization and learning for public good, which differs our profession from rest of the professions. If we take into consideration the profession of a doctor, his profession would start and would end with his clinic. But what is the difference between other profession and our profession is that in our profession, there is a common platform, and that is the court, wherein many more times we find that the senior lawyers, they argue against a very, very junior who has joined the bar just a couple of days before. In such cases, neither the junior lawyer has a right to say, or he can say that, sorry, my opponent is a senior counsel, or neither the senior counsel can say, sorry, I will not argue against the raw person. So, this fact of having a common platform for all, that makes our legal profession, I would say that it is more different than other professions. Now, my lord, it's a process of lifetime reading and learning, which may not make you rich in your earnings, but your process of thinking will definitely improve. There is no profession as thrilling as this legal profession. Certainly, due to the relentless endeavor of these learned souls, today we are the part of this august gathering. The special credit goes to those souls who gave color, texture, and personality to this bar association. Friends, we all learned tough lessons for last 1.5 years. The invisible virus has demolished the illusion that the human being is the master of nature. We also learned that we all are equal before the Mother Nature. The pandemic has highlighted the need to accelerate the developments in science and technology. During this period, information and technology has improved as an effective tool, and the judiciary is not an exception to it. We all used extensively the virtual interface for advancing our arguments. Thus, we learnt the option of science and technology harmonious with the nature would help to sustain our survival and growth. My lord, taking this note, I take an opportunity to mention that during the period of pandemic, we had a virtual hearing, and no doubt from both ends, it was a wonderful try. We had courts working on alternate or otherwise days. It is the earnest request to have the necessary infrastructure for having all courts working every day, considering the threat of third wave of COVID-19, and so as to meet the ends of justice. Friends, even though the bench is 40 years old, that is, in the mid of its life, it has seen several ups and downs. The bench, which initially started with 2 judges, flourished and bloomed. The Bar Association has given several legal luminaries to this honorable bench. In the year 2019, Honorable Shri Justice N.H. Patil became the 43rd Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay, High Court of Bombay, who belongs to this Bar Association. It's a proud moment for our Bar Association. At present, the strength of lawyers is approximately 3,000. There is remarkable growth in the number of practicing lady lawyers. Their performances is really satisfactory, and some of them have created a benchmark. Honorable Justice Srimati Sadhana Jadhav, elevated as Judge Bombay High Court, who is from this Bar Association and who is the first lady lawyer to be elevated as Judge High Court of Bombay. My lord, this bar is mostly of junior lawyers. The new generation is full of innovative ideas, and their perceptions are totally different. They are developing the skills and adopting ability to stand firmly in the practice. There is a potential in this bar. My lord, we are also keen in making our campus Wi-Fi enabled, which is in need of the time. The Bombay High Court and Nagpur High Court have this facility to the lawyers, so we would expect 40% aid to establish Wi-Fi network at this bench as well. Of course, this facility would be value added. My lord, there was one PIL number 188 of 2018, and by Honorable Court's order, we have started the daycare center, which was running very smoothly prior to the pandemic, but due to the pandemic from March 2020, now the daycare center is closed and we would be starting it very soon, only after taking the permission from the senior most judge. My Lord, our demand for construction of the lawyers' chambers has come to the reality. We are constructing 270 chambers for lawyers. The construction is done from their own subscription. Now the lawyers' chambers have come to desired shape and size. However, public utility services approach road to the lawyers' chamber, as well as the internal roads, compound wall, and the gate, they are needed to be constructed by PWD. The association has already submitted applications to that extent. It's a request that if my lords would look into it and take initiative, if the said work will be done by the PWD, considering the plight of the lawyers in the pandemic, it will be definitely who are in a financial stress, at least they will get some relief. Our electricity supply to the lawyers' chambers, as well as the electricity feeder, water supply, these are the main issues wherein if at all we get some help from Honorable Court, that will be rather more giving a relief to the lawyers. Even since the Honorable AG is available, I would like to put forth that in lawyers' chambers, 10% chambers are reserved for the government pleader. We have not yet received the subscription of those 10% chambers. So I think that when AG is available, I think that will be expedited very fast. And before I conclude, I would like to welcome my Lord the Chief Justice on behalf of the association with full gratitude. I still remember the association wrote a letter congratulating my lords on assumption of office of a Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, wherein we wished to form a harmonious new pedestals in the governance of Bombay High Court and its benches. My lords' quarterly visits to each bench and 1 week seating in each bench really deserves highest esteem. I really thank you, my lords. We are fortunate enough to have the senior judge of Bombay High Court, who happens to be the guest of honor and also a member of our Bar Association, Honorable Justice Shri S.S. Shinde, who needs no introduction. My Lord is known for his quality of human nature. My Lord has substantially contributed to the developing self of this honorable bench and bar. My Lord's valuable guidance has improvised the junior bar members in every walk of life. I, on behalf of Bar Association, wholeheartedly welcome my Lords to this august gathering. Our another guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice S.V. Gangapurwala, the senior most administrative judge of this Honorable High Court, is known for his generous behavior and his relentless work culture, which has proved him to be the most popular judge. My Lord's endeavor to uplift the members of the bar, especially the junior lawyers, is unique in its own kind. I also thankful to the Honorable Advocate General, who has accepted our invitation and has graced the occasion. I'm thankful to you all, sir, personally for guiding us to make this event successfully. I can't forget to thank the companion judges who supported wholeheartedly. At last, without the cooperation from all my colleagues, this gathering would have no meaning. I thank all of you for gracing the occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, let us hear some thoughts from the respected members of the bar as a token of representation. I know all the speakers have every right to express their thoughts on this occasion with reasonable restrictions, but under instructions, may I mention that Honorable Chief Justice has to leave at around 6 p.m. or so. Therefore, considering the time constraint, I hope speakers would observe the self-restrainment of 3 to 4 minutes. I would like to invite Advocate Rashmi Gaur ma'am to speak a few words.
Yes, I can take the liberty to remove the mask now. I extend my warm greetings to the Honorable the Chief Justice, Deepankar Datta, all the honorable dignitaries on the dais, all the sitting judges, all the retired judges, their family members, all the senior lawyers, my junior friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really thankful to the Honorable President Surekha Mahajan Madam who has given me this opportunity to address this august gathering today. But just now my friend who's accompanying the function has restrained me and given me the time limit of just 3 to 4 minutes. So first of all, I pay homage to those departed souls who we have lost during this pandemic. I remember late learned senior advocate PM Shah sir in one of such Foundation Day functions said that you call it by any name, you call it either a Foundation Day function or Establishment Day function. Speaking it easily, today is the happy birthday of our High Court. And those who have started working here as advocates, I must say that it is the happy birthday of the advocate in us also. So let us all join this celebration of this birthday. And a celebration of birthday is incomplete when the past is not discussed, the future plans are not decided, the gratitude is not expressed, and the assessment of the failures and achievements is not done. So as far as the past is concerned, for the first time in my 15 years of practice, I understood the widely used legal term, irreparable loss. Because of the loss that we had, the human loss, the guiding pillars of our High Court are lost. And we understood the meaning of irreparable loss, but then, indeed, it was a time of learning as well. The things that we never had imagined about this virtual hearing, we have successfully completed this task. It was a Herculean task and we have completed it. At times we were like, Mr. India, my lord, am I visible? At times we were like, my lord, meri awaaz suno, am I audible, my lord, am I visible, my lord? But even after all these embarrassments, we could successfully complete this difficult task. In future also we are ready because now we have a lot many facilities. I am thankful to the this Bar Association, the joint efforts of the bench and the bar that we have many facilities now, including the arbitration center, the lawyers' chambers. Now we are also having the extended building. So these are the achievements. But there are many such things, I would say anecdotes. I wanted to mention them all. A very small anecdote of it I will mention, that Honorable Justice Gangapurwala, when he has finished with nearly 400 cases board prior to 3-4 years back, I went back home and cheerfully I said, Pitaji, Gangapurwala sahab ne 400 matters ka board khatam kar diya. And my poor surprised mother questioned me, ye kaise possible hai? My father, who is a big-time fan of Honorable the Prime Minister Modi ji, for the first time opened his mouth to say, Gangapurwala sahab hai, to mumkin hai. So such funny, such things we always have. I do share such things at my home with my parents. There are many such things. Here, Honorable Justice Vibhavari Kankanwadi Madam, she is like mother to us. Even her punishments are also simple and smart like her. When we stand for adjournments, she says no adjournment and sorry costs. So go and better pay 500 rupees in the legal aid committee. I also would like to mention a story that when I was working before the court of Honorable Justice R.G. Outsat, sir, it was like he was granting bail after the bail. And the AGP team of these 4-5 AGPs like us, we were sitting with long faces. He looked at us in the middle of the argument. He literally stopped and said, don't worry, it's not that I'm granting bail in all the cases. I'm going to reject a few of them if I don't find the merit. So in this very healthy and friendly environment we work, all the honorable judges, they are always guiding us. Honorable Justice V.K. Zadav sir, Honorable Justice Guge sir, they are like, they never say that go and read this judgment. They are like, This is a very important issue of law and we shall study it together. I will also study and then we will learn a new point together. This is how they promote us for studies, for studying new point on law. And I must say that together we are working here as a big joint family. And no matter whatever corona or other viruses on this earth, any problem in this world, I am sure that if we are working together, nothing can destroy us. This is the time when we can challenge all the challenges before us by saying, मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूँ, शीशे से कब तक तोड़ोगे? मिटने वाला मैं नाम नहीं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? मैं समंदर से भी गहरा हूँ, तुम कितने कंकड़ फेंकोगे? चुन चुन कर आगे बढ़ूंगा मैं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? Thank you very much.
Very lovely poem, ma'am. And also, like ma'am mentioned, we should take this opportunity to extend our homage to the departed souls in this pandemic. May their souls rest in peace. Now I invite Advocate V.D. Sarunke sir, the member of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, to speak a few words.
Honorable Sri Dipankar Datta, Chief Justice of High Court, Bombay, and Chief Guest of today's function, Honorable Justice S.S. Shinde, Senior Most Judge of the Bombay High Court and Guest of Honor of today's function, Honorable Sri S.V. Gangapurwala, Administrative Judge of this bench and President of the today's function, Honorable Sri Advocate General, ASJ, Honorable GP, all the senior judges and sitting and former judges of this bench, Registrar of the High Court, my colleague in the Bar Council, and all brothers and sisters. Today is the 40th Establishment Day of the High Court Bench at Aurangabad. On this occasion, I welcome all the dignitaries on behalf of the Bar Council. Now, today I can say that it is not a new bench. It has completed 40 years, and by its hard work, that separate bench for Marathwada was the need of this reason is established. This bench was started with 2 judges and few lawyers. Now there are 12 judges and more than 300 lawyers, but some more judges are required. We the lawyers are satisfied for the administration of this bench. Territorial jurisdiction of this bench initially was 8 districts. Now there are 12 districts. Honorable Chief Justice and senior judges sitting on the dais has supported the construction work of the chambers to the lawyers. There is highest number of filing and disposal of the cases at this bench. While completing 40 years, we may not now make the demand, but we must make the claim as a matter of right. The contribution of this bar to provide eminent 18 judges cannot be ignored. There is potential in the bar, but for elevation, bar feels that there appears to be some injustice. Now, there is sufficient infrastructure. Buildings are constructed, but there is no sufficient space allotted to the Bar Association and the parking place. On behalf of Bar Association, I am thankful to Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Guest of Honor, and the Administrative Judge of this bench for giving guidance, providing facilities, and eradicating hurdles in the construction of chamber project, and request to continue their guidance. I am thankful for the Bar Association to give me an opportunity to speak for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We would have definitely liked to hear more of your thoughts, but unfortunately, due to time constraints, I would like to invite Senior Counsel Shri P.V. Mandlik, sir, to kindly speak a few words.
Honorable Chief Justice Shri Dipankar Datta, Senior Administrative Judge Shri Gangapurwala, Guest of Honor Shri Justice Shinde Sahib, Advocate General, Guest of Honor Srimati Sadhna Jadhav, all the respected family members of the judges, government leader, Assistant Solicitor General, staff of the High Court, senior advocates, members of the Bar Council, and my friends. Today, we are here to celebrate the 40th birthday of our High Court. The establishment of this bench is having great history right from 1953 to 1981. Various persons, that is every citizen, advocates, litigants, leaders, Chief Minister, judges of the High Court and Supreme Court have supported the demand for establishment of the bench. The main object for establishment for this bench was to achieve speedy justice at minimum cost of litigation, and the justice should be within the reach of poor litigants. And it can be said that the object was achieved with hard work of all the honorable judges working here, advocates, and the staff of the High Court. As on today, more than 175,000 cases are there in this bench. It is equivalent to Bombay bench and more than the Nagpur bench. In 1981, this bench was started with 2 judges with 200 files. Now we are seeing the figure, 175,000. The strength of judges today is 12 judges working here. They are doing very hard work and very burden is on them. So at least, in my opinion, 12 more judges are required for this bench. And so far as the appointment is concerned, out of 3,000, 12 persons can be elevated easily. Whatever the persons have taken on the bench, they have proved their merit. Hum kisi se kam nahi, they have shown. Therefore, there will be no difficulty. If the shortage of 12 judges is there, they can be state the best. We don't say that you choose A or B or C. The best possible meritorious candidate should be chosen from this bar, and that shortage or backlog should be minimized. One more thing I want to say here, that during last 40 years, as my friend Salunke has said, that during last 40 years, only 18 candidates have been elevated. However, from Bombay and Nagpur, if the figure is taken, it is more than double. So there is backlog. So I request the Honorable Chief Guest that to fulfill this backlog and will appoint maximum judges from this bar. Then I say that on this auspicious day, we can say the bench and bar will do the hard work with the cooperation of each other and try to clear the pendency and to try to give the speedy justice to the litigant at the earliest. One more thing I want to say that yesterday we have talked with the Honorable Chief Justice. We say that the Honorable Chief Justice is giving some special attention to this bench to solve the problems. The Honorable Chief Justice said, no, I am giving special attention to all the benches. But before concluding my speech, I want to say, sir, there is special feature of this bench. Whoever visit this bench, senior judges, and who work here, take the names from Justice Kapadia, Justice Bobde, Justice Chandrachud, Justice Khanwilkar, Justice Bhushan Gauli, all these persons elevated to the Supreme Court. Visit to this bench means a confirmation of seat reserved in the Supreme Court. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So we would definitely like to see you here then in the near future and also in the Honorable Supreme Court then. Now, we have a person amongst us who was a former judge of the High Court of Bombay in 2008, and now he is a top law officer of the government of Maharashtra as the 60th Advocate General of the state. Now, we do find him in the Honorable High Court, but apart from that, we also find him in the badminton court, football court, and hockey court due to his keen interest in sports. Apparently, he also plays an uncommon instrument called the accordion. I request this multi-talented personality, Advocate General Shri Ashutosh Kumbhakoni sir, to kindly address us.
My Lord Honorable the Chief Justice, other honorable judges of this honorable court, respected office bearers of esteemed organizations of our legal fraternity, respected members of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, the learned Additional Solicitor General, my professional colleagues at the bar. At the outset, let me join the young lady lawyer who just now spoke in wishing this august institution a happy birthday. Whether it is a birthday of a human being or an institution, in my view, it's always an occasion for introspection. We must trace out the achievements as also the failures, not only of the last 1 year, but also of all the previous years since birth or the establishment, as the case may be. This exercise is principally aimed with the sole object to identify the areas of concerns where we need to improve and various aspects where we have succeeded, to further consolidate our efforts in order to inspire other similar institutions to repeat these success stories. As an example of this bench, I may cite the number of cases settled in the National Lok Adalat here, which has been a national record. Let us continue the study group exercise that was being conducted here, which involved arranging of guest lectures every month, and if my memory serves me right, on Thursday, for enriching the experience of members of the bar on a particular topic. If I mistake not, the present pandemic is the only reason that has interrupted this laudable exercise of our bar association. As a member of this bar association, though I am not formally enrolled as a member of the Association of Bombay High Court bench at Nagpur, let me request my Lord Honorable Justice Ghugge to resume his personal lecture series as well at the earliest. In this regard, unlike break the chain slogan of the government regarding COVID, let us today resolve to continue the chain. Let me assure personally that I will try my best to accept a brief that will enable me to be here amongst all of you at least once in 2 months and participate in this CLEP, that is Continuous Legal Education Program, if not as a guest lecturer, at least as one of the participants of the knowledge, wisdom and experiences of our guest lectures. Let me also further assure you that I will be eager to use my good offices to get here any guest whom the members of the bar unanimously want them to address. Like each one of us, I am also eager to hear most valuable thoughts of honorable judges. I conclude while reserving my privilege and without prejudice to it, to address these bar members at length on a topic of their choice on an appropriate day. I am grateful to the organizers of this function for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I make a plea to a persona who is known for unmistakable, even-handed, and speedy delivery of justice. That too with a smiling face, a pride of our bar and bench, none other than the senior most judge of the Bombay High Court, bench at Aurangabad, Honorable Justice Sri S.V. Gangapurwala, sir. Sir, please guide these members of the auditorium.
Good evening, and greetings to every citizen, litigant, and advocate of this bar and at this region for the 40th establishment day of the Aurangabad bench. My Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice Shri Deepankar Datta, Brother Justice Ambaji Shinde, my sister and brother judges, Mr. Kumbhakoni, the Advocate General, Ms. Mahajan, the President of the Bar, the Secretary, the Vice President, the senior advocates of the Bar, the dignitaries, and my fellow members of the Bar. I'm referring to you as fellow members of the Bar because today also I consider myself to be the part of this bar. And I believe that Sister Justice Jadhav, Brother Justice Ghugge would believe the same. I have consciously not referred to the name of Brother Justice Shinde because after all, he's from the Supreme Court bar. But let me apprise this House that whenever the issue of Aurangabad bench crops up before the administrative committee, it is Brother Justice Shinde who takes the lead in positively considering that. As my predecessor speakers have said, that today is a day to celebrate. Yes, today is the day of celebration, and celebrate we must. Because we did not get this bench easily. It is after a long fought battle we got this bench. In fact, our region does not get anything easily, not even the rains. Friends, 40 years is not too long a period. At the same time, it is not too short a period either. In this 40 years, the bar has progressed a lot. I am witness to the progress of this bar for 36 years out of these 40 years. And I can say that this bar, in this journey of 40 years, has given Chief Justice of the High Court judges, senior advocates, and many legal luminaries who have contributed immensely to this institution. And I'm confident that the juniors of this bar will carry forward the legacy. The seniors of this bar have laid down high traditions of professional ethics, and which the juniors certainly are now following. Now, this is only for juniors, because in lighter vein, seniors like me are incorrigible. I would request the junior members of the bar to be achievers. And for you to be an achiever, first you should be a believer. You should believe in your capabilities. You should believe in your competency. You should believe in your sincerity, hard work, and integrity, and then you will reach the zenith. Being from Aurangabad, I do have certain Urdu flavor. There is a saying in Urdu that खुद को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा खुद बंदे से पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. Means, make yourself so competent, make yourself so capable that before writing the destiny, God will ask you, what is your desire? So, I would request my members of the bar to put in such efforts and get recognition that the Honorable Chief Justice would recognize you by your work. And you will not be required to make demand for more elevations from this bar. Friends, I'm aware that we are all eager to hear our Honorable the Chief Justice. So, with these few words, I take your leave. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a very inspiring and motivating words for myself and my junior colleagues, I believe. And like sir said, believer and achiever. I think there's one more word that I put before, that is a dreamer. I feel like once you're a dreamer, then you're a believer, and then you're an achiever. Thank you so much. Now, the moment we have been waiting for. I request a dignitary, a son of our soil, who is excelling in his judicial discharge of duties due to his hard work at the principal seat of High Court of Bombay, who is foreseeing a bar and bench from there. That is our admirable Honorable Justice S.S. Shinde, sir, the Administrative Judge of the Bombay High Court. Sir, kindly share a few words with us.
Ms. Bankar has given 3 to 4 minutes, but I am senior citizen and I am going to retire next week. This may be my last, so I may exceed. Next year, before next function, 27th August, and I have taken permission from the Chief Justice. So, Honorable the Chief Justice, Dipankar Datta, Mrs. Datta, I admire the Chief Justice and I have all praise for him because he is the first Chief Justice who has paid full attention to the benches. He is regularly visiting for 1 week to every bench. Initially, he discussed with administrative judges and we requested him, he acceded to the request. He mentioned that he loves to go to benches because all of us should feel that the Bombay High Court is not only at the principal seat, but at benches at Nagpur and Aurangabad and also the Goa. And I have not seen very rare to see the family like Chief Justice, that very straightforward, very honest and very encouraging and all the times believing in development of the benches and also the legal fraternity. Honorable Justice Jadhav, who is specially come to attend this function, my esteemed colleague, Justice Ganga Purwala, who needs no introduction, the learned Advocate General, Mr. Ashutosh Kumbhakoni, the President of the Bar, the Vice President of the Bar, Secretary of the Bar, other office bearers of the Bar, all my learned brother judges, and all respected Vahinis, the senior advocates of the Bar, the other advocates of the Bar, the government pleader, the assistant solicitor, team of the government pleader and assistant solicitor, and the Registrar General, all the registrars, the Principal Secretary to the Chief Justice. I am mentioning this specially because they have specially come to attend this function. And if I have missed somebody, I may be excused. Now, Mr. Ghatole Patil, while felicitating, for a moment he forgot that I am from...
Just holding. I was just holding thought.
When I shifted to Delhi in November 97, I think in 1997 I was elected as Vice President. I secured more than 500 and I think my opponent secured below 100. So that time also I was popular. Therefore, Justice Ganga Purwala's statement I dispute that I am from Supreme Court Bar. Somebody asked, I will tell in Marathi, की साहेब आता तुम्ही 2-2.5 वर्ष झालं मुंबईला गेलात, तिकडे काम करता, औरंगाबादला आल्यानंतर कसं वाटतं? मला अगदी एकदम असं उत्तर द्यावं वाटलं की जशी नववधू सासरला जाते आणि नंतर माहेरला येते, परंतु म्हटलं आपण ते मनातच ठेवावं. What I feel, because I am not going to go to the past, how this bench is created, because we have completed now 40 years. So what collectively we can do is, and what we are doing, that we have to enhance, that is the dignity and decorum, enhancing image of the institution, following professional ethics, and most importantly, maintaining independence of the judiciary. Unless bar and bench both collectively work for the independence of judiciary, it may not be possible only for the bench, and bar has to rise when the independence of judiciary is in difficult times or in crisis. At the same time, we collectively shall ensure that the quality assistance is received by the litigants, not only private litigants, but oppressed classes of the society, special classes of the society, women, children, SC, ST, Adivasis, because ultimately quality assistance has certain reflection in the outcome of the proceedings or the litigation. We have the rural area in entire Marathwada is not like the principal seat, therefore our roots, where we have come from, we should not forget that we have come from which place, and we should continue to have the social contact with the masses. It is our duty to educate the masses, what are their rights, what are the fundamental rights, what are the ordinary rights, and how we can help them. It is possible to conduct the legal seminars, conferences, and educate them. Many citizens of this area, they are not aware about their rights, and therefore they don't know how to approach the court, when to approach. So therefore, collective responsibility lies with us to help them. Now, so far the infrastructure is concerned, I will request the Bar Association and Bar Council of India to further improve the infrastructure, and as mentioned by Advocate General, that lecture series, I think, needs to be continued, which will, the junior members of the bar will get the benefit out of it. One suggestion to the Bar Association is that please create the funds or common fund, so that if anything, any tragedy happens with any advocate, his family should not be on road. Substantial amount you can contribute to the family of such advocate who has suffered, suppose, accident or died in some tragedy. I remember that at Bhiwandi, one advocate having age 38 years was driving the scooter, and he was going to the school to with his child, and unfortunately while coming back he died. So many questions came to my mind, what will happen to his family, because he was driving the scooter, means may not be in a position to purchase the four-wheeler. So what will happen to his family, what will happen to his wife and children? So that needs to be addressed. There should be substantial amount such advocate, the family of such advocate should get. Another suggestion can be, you can have the insurance, and the bar members who are earning more, they should contribute, they can contribute more for that cause. Is very important, because the profession is not secured. In last 1.5 years, there are many difficulties. Some of the advocates, junior advocates, they stopped their practice and they went to their native villages. Now the training program for the advocates for appearing for the examination of JMFC or the district judges is necessary. So I think Bar Council of India, Bar Council of Maharashtra is doing that, but even the bar associations can undertake such training programs by requesting some retired judges or the district judges or the high court judges. Now rendering pro bono services, because our area is considered to be economically backward, and therefore out of 100 cases which you are accepting or you are getting, at least in 20 cases, 25 cases, the advocates should not accept the fees, and they should do the pro bono service. That's what I feel. Now, it is this video conferencing is going to stay in future also. The future generation may not prefer to have the systems like which now we are this physical hearing and all that. There may be time when the courts will be paperless. Therefore, the new generation of the advocates or the junior advocates may be trained accordingly by taking the technical assistance. Now we have this legal aid center wherein there is a sufficient space for mediation, and some mediators like Mr. Kadam, S.K. Kadam, who is doing wonderful job, and the more and more mediation may be suggested if the litigants approaches you, because if something is solved through mediation, it is win-win situation for both the sides. Now you see, we have the wonderful campus, 58 acres around land. We have the enough infrastructure. There may be now 27 courts and chambers and enough space even for the advocates in new building. We'll have the multi-storied parking for the vehicles. In fact, I suggested for 2,000 vehicles, but due to this airport is in close vicinity, the permission was granted only for 3-storied building, wherein we can accommodate 300 cars. And in new building also there is space for the bar association, bar members. Not only that, we should think about the bar members, but their clerks also, clerks of the advocates, they also needs to be paid properly, and attention needs to be given to their problems also. Now, I will end by quoting Justice Krishna Iyer. In the words of Justice Krishna Iyer, law's nobility as a profession lasts only so long as the members maintain their commitment to integrity and service to the community. Now, one thing I cannot forget, because from yesterday, when I closed my eyes, I could see the 7 bar members, Advocate P.M. Shah, Advocate Pradeep Deshmukh, Advocate Nana Sahib Shinde, Advocate Haribhau Munde, Advocate Chaukidar, Advocate Mantri. And still I can remember their faces, and I can see when I close my eyes is a loss, great loss to the Bar Association. I mean, all the times, some of them were guiding the junior members. So it's a really great loss to the Bar Association. I am thankful for giving me this wonderful opportunity to come here and participate. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Lordship. Thank you for your valuable and empathetic suggestions. We hope that they will be incorporated pretty soon in the near future. And we also wish that we could have your Lordship for many more years as our Honorable Sitting Judge. High Court of Bombay is the 2nd oldest High Court in India, and High Court of Calcutta is the 1st oldest one. We have an eminent legal luminary, our Honorable Chief Justice, Shri Dipankar Datta Sir, who was practicing at the High Court of Calcutta, the 1st oldest one, and now he is the Chief Justice of the High Court of Bombay, the 2nd oldest one, since April 28, 2020. It needs to be noted that since independence, 22 judges from the High Court of Bombay were elevated to be the Supreme Court judges, and 8 judges went on to become the Chief Justice of India. And since we have our Honorable Justice, Chief Justice Sir here, and also Senior Counsel P.V. Mandlik Sir has also reckoned we may see him in the near future elevated as a Supreme Court judge. The bar is very keen to hear his Lordship. Sir, please take charge of the mic.
My esteemed brother, Justice Shinde, Senior Administrative Judge at the Aurangabad Bench, Justice Gangapurwala, my sister and brother judges of the dais, Mr. Kumbhakoni, Learned Advocate General for the State of Maharashtra, all law officers of the State of Maharashtra, Mr. Talar, Learned ASGI, and law officers of the Union of India, Mr. Salunke and Mr. Sawant, members of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Ms. Mahajan, Ms. Mantri, and Mr. Ghatul Patil, the President, Vice President, and Secretary, respectively, of the Advocates Association, esteemed senior members of the bar, learned members of the bar, members of the registry, and the staff, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, one and all. At the outset, let me express my sincere gratitude to the Advocates Association of the Bombay High Court bench at Aurangabad for inviting me to attend this evening's function. And I thank all those presenters of flower bouquets to me. Never in my life had I had the occasion to receive so many flower bouquets. Thank you very much. I feel proud and privileged to be part of this august gathering on this auspicious occasion of the 40th, as Madam said, birthday of the Aurangabad bench. I congratulate you all on this occasion and wish you all the best in the decades to come. History would bear testimony to the long struggle that the members of the bar, as well as judges and people from public life, had to make to have this bench established at Aurangabad. I pay obeisance to those great souls, not in our midst, who made this dream come true. I also convey my deepest respect to those who are still with us. I'm sure they would be the guiding star for the newer generations. Presently, the road distance between Aurangabad and Mumbai via the Pune Expressway is around 366 kilometers. And yesterday I was trying to find out on Google how many trains operate between these two cities. I found it was 6. So it is quite understandable that in the late 70s or in the very early 80s, the road distance was more and the frequency of train services were less. And therefore, it must have been an ordeal for the people of the 8 districts of Marathwada region, as well as now we have 4 more, Jalgaon, Nandurbar, Dhule, and Ahmednagar. For the people of this region to go to Mumbai for the purpose of enforcement of their rights. Access to justice, which has now been recognized as a human right, must have been an illusion for the people of this area. Being under compulsion to approach the High Court of Bombay at its principal seat, if one intended that his right needs to be enforced, must have been a distant dream. No elaborate study or research is required for the formation of an opinion that a failure of the justice delivery system ensues if an affected citizen, for reasons of long distance to be traveled and to incur the high expenditure that is involved at the principal seat of a high court, elects against such enforcement of right to his utter peril. Therefore, it is rightly said that the establishment of this bench answered a crying need of the people of this area, and thus justice at the doorstep became a reality for them. Today, this bench steps into the last year of the 4th decade of its existence. Any comparison of the age of the bench with human life cycle is not quite apt. However, if any such comparison with the stages of human lifestyle were possible, this bench probably could be viewed as having attained adulthood today after crossing the stages of infancy, childhood, and adolescence. The Establishment Day is an occasion which gives each one of us an opportunity to introspect. Though it is a day to rejoice it also reminds us of the enormous responsibility cast on the shoulders of the legal as well as the judicial fraternity. We all have seen this day due to the great struggle of our earlier generation of lawyers and judges who toiled hard for nourishing this bench. The journey of this bench in completing 4 decades not being easy, it is for us all to ensure that with time, the long-standing traditions and conventions are cherished and preserved. There should not be any room for complacency and to remain contented with whatever progress has been achieved by establishing this bench. The further journey would be even more challenging, and the responsibility to accept growing challenges lies on the shoulders of the new generation. Taking the bench at Aurangabad to greater heights would be a befitting tribute to the souls of those lawyers and judges of the yesteryears who, by their tireless efforts, made this occasion possible. I do not feel the slightest of hesitation to acknowledge the hard work put in by the bar and the bench at Aurangabad. I have information of some of my colleagues working till 7 o'clock in the evening. They do not hesitate to work even on Saturdays when I request them. The members of the bar are not too far behind. They reciprocate with an equal amount of energy by untiringly cooperating with the bench for expeditious disposal of cases. The future seems to be bright, and I am sure that the members of the bar here would surely match my expectations from them. I must sound a note of appreciation for all those who work behind the screen to make the lives of judges and the members of the bar meaningful. Without the able assistance of the registry and the members of the staff, as well as the clerks and stenographers associated with the lawyers, rendering justice in their respective spheres would have definitely been an arduous task. I congratulate them too. Keep up the good work. We must thank God that we are still alive. The pandemic during 2020 and 2021 have posed insurmountable challenges for all of us. A tiny invisible virus who did not discriminate between man and woman, rich and poor, privileged and underprivileged, put all our lives in utter disarray. The very existence of the human life was under a cloud. Nobody ever dreamt of the country being locked down, and I'm sure none of us ever imagined that entry into the court halls would be restricted, and that we would have to function from our chambers, you would have to function from your offices. We have definitely lost precious lives. Many people have lost their livelihood. Arguably, the poor migrant laborers are the worst hit. However, with the grace and blessings of God, we are gradually coming back to normalcy. It is, therefore, a situation where we must not lower our guards. As the medical experts say, the third wave could hit us any moment. In Bombay, the Administrative Committee of Judges, I must say, have been taking very pragmatic decisions. This committee, of course, includes me. You must be knowing that to tackle the pandemic, we at Bombay hold review meetings once every month. And at such meetings, we invite the Principal Secretary, Health and Family Welfare of the Government of Maharashtra. We invite the Commissioner, Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, as well as members of the Maharashtra State COVID Task Force. On the basis of their expert opinion, as well as with the discussion that follows with the members of the bar, we have been taking decisions. I would say Aurangabad and Nagpur stand on a safer footing, having regard to the population here. Bombay is really a critical area, but we take pride in sharing with you that last year we had not taken a single backward step. We only moved forward. Maybe these were baby steps, but we did not move backward. It was only on 7th of April this year, when the second wave struck, that we had to again go back to virtual hearings. From this month, Nagpur and Aurangabad are working on all 5 days. I would say on 6 days, on the first and third Saturdays also. Bombay has followed suit. God willing, from next month, Bombay will also be functioning on all the available working days. But dear friends, again, do not be complacent. Please follow the COVID protocol behavior. Wear the masks. Keep your hands sanitized. It is for your best interest that all these precautions ought to be taken. I have been told by Mr. Patil that most of the members of the bar have had received their second doses of vaccination. Those who have not, please do so, because we have introduced a protocol that if any learned advocate has not been vaccinated, he shall not be allowed entry into the court premises, be it at the principal seat, the benches, but also in the district courts, because he poses a risk not only for himself, but for judicial officers, members of the registry and the staff, and his fellow advocates. The challenges that the pandemic have posed have been faced with grit and determination. There's a saying, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. I think both the members of the bar as well as the bench has demonstrated this in fair measure. There is, however, one area of serious concern that cannot be immediately brushed aside. Mr. Manlik referred to the mounting arrears, that it has crossed 1,75,000. As on yesterday, the pendency stands at 1,77,514. If you compare it with the figures at the end of March 2020, it was 1,58,840. Thereafter, there has been a steady increase. 31st of March 2021, it stood at 1,72,078. That means in the last 5 months, there has been an accumulation of 5,000 cases. No doubt, restricted functioning of the courts has been one of the major contributors to the accumulation of arrears. But one has to realize that since I took over as Chief Justice in late April 2020, there have been 11 retirements, 1 transfer, 1 judge has tendered resignation, and 2 judges are on the verge of retirement. As against this, what we have got is the elevation of 4 new judges. In spite of standing in an unenviable position, I have tried my best to give the attention the bench at Aurangabad deserves. I have ensured that judges are sent on visiting assignments to Aurangabad so that the figure at least does not fall below 12. Today, we were 14. From next Monday for a month, you will again have 14. But with Justice Deshmukh retiring, the number would again go down. There seems to be a simmering discontent in Aurangabad that members of the bar here are not elevated. Be rest assured that under my leadership, members of the bar in Aurangabad will not be overlooked. There are a number of factors that need to be looked into by the collegium while recommending a member of the bar for elevation. Academic brilliance with stellar performance in court is not the sole consideration. Apart from knowledge of law and legal principles, one has to be a man of character and possessed of unimpeachable integrity. How one responds to court when queries are made, how you conduct yourself in tough situations, how you behave with your adversary, your poise, your temperament, your antecedents, including your moral and professional standards, representation of all communities in the bench, and a host of all other factors go into the decision-making process. I can tell you this is not an easy task. However, with Brother Justice Shinde on the collegium and Brother Justice Syed, we tirelessly work after our day's judicial work to ensure that none of the names that we would recommend are returned. You must be knowing that out of 18 members of the bar who had been recommended in April 2020, 9 members were cleared by the Supreme Court Collegium as far back as on March 19, 2021. We do not have any official communication about the fate of these members of the bar. Therefore, it is not only the High Court that is responsible for making the necessary appointments, it is for the other organs to act in cohesion to make it possible. One of the main purposes why I come to the benches is to scout for talent. I can assure Mr. Manlik, who is one of the senior most here, that we have shortlisted people from Aurangabad. And if all criteria are met, you can have more members from Aurangabad as judges. But to expect 12, you may have to move the Chief Justice of India, not the Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court. Let me tell you, sir, it is not within my powers to send 12 judges to Aurangabad in addition to the 12 you have. Please bear with us. We are trying to explore every possible avenue to cater to the interests of the benches. I have been curtailing the strength of Nagpur and sending judges here. You would have seen that of the 4 new appointments that have been made, 3 were sent to Aurangabad. And so far as Mr. Manlik's demands that double the number of judges are appointed from Bombay and Nagpur is concerned, just compare the ages of the principal seat and the bench at Nagpur. Maybe that is the reason. They are double in age. I'm not justifying, but as soon as you said best possible talent, it's a relative term. To one may be the best possible. To me, it may not be. But please feel assured that justice would be done to the bench at Aurangabad. I feel happy to be here. There is no campus like the Aurangabad campus. You have all the judges staying together. You have an advocate's chamber in a multi-storied building that is coming up. You have 3 new blocks which would be inaugurated soon. You will have 8 more courtrooms. So therefore the infrastructure is ready for the next 50 years. All we need is that there must be members of the bar who would be interested in doing service to the nation by sacrificing practice and opting for the bench. And it is you, sir, senior members of the bar, who have to guide the younger generation. They have to be told that joining the profession, joining the bench is a national duty. I always say this in all my speeches. It is for us judges, whenever I speak to the judges. It is a national duty. There are people guarding the borders in such difficult circumstances. We are fortunate that we work from air-conditioned chambers. We have the necessary support. Nowadays, researching is just on the basis of a mouse. When we started practice, I remember my senior used to tell me, find out the judgments on this particular proposition. We had to run through pages and pages to find out. Nowadays it's so easy. So therefore the junior members of the bar, I would say between the age group of 25 and 40, I would categorize them as young. Since you are the future of the bench, please try to follow the professional ethics. Please try to follow the rules of pleadings. Please employ correct language and learn from your seniors how it is to address the court. After all, it is on the basis of your submission that we lay down the law. When we are asked to interpret a particular provision of law, one side says, sir, this is the interpretation to be placed. Other side says, no, the law has to be interpreted in this way. Do we not accept one way, one side of the arguments? We are given the ultimate credit for laying down the law, but the groundwork has to be done by you. So therefore, learning has to be a continuous process, and research has to be the backbone of all the good work that you do. Without learning, without research, you may not be able to cut a mark. I will have to board a flight, so I better conclude it here. On a different occasion, when I am here for a longer period, I would definitely like to interact. And on that occasion, I would request the association to allow young members like the lady who made the first address. All young members should be allowed to address us. Whatever difficulties they face, unless they tell us, we cannot guide them. It is also our duty to guide the young members of the bar. So therefore, there should be a program where we will be the listeners, they would be the speakers. Take care and stay safe. God bless you all. God bless Bombay High Court. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.